Okie dokers. Happy New Year's Day, almost. Happy week after Christmas and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
the good
too.
news is we're sitting on an amazing opportunity for this next year. We did an incredible job. I added it up yesterday. Just in my purchases from the company, not counting what we've resold, we're at almost $250,000 in patches sold in the last 4 months.
Wow.
That's like a lot of patches.
That
And
is.
it's going to get a lot better when y'all know what you're doing. And the other thing I figured out today, it's like we have to get you all equipped to know what you're doing because I cannot keep up with, you know, everybody needing to figure out how they're going to sign that person up for $1 and place an order. I don't mind doing it, but we have to continue. Doretta has done a bang up job of calling and asking for help, and she's learning. And sometimes I get frustrated and she gets frustrated, but we're in a learning process. So as long as we are staying in the learning process, and if you want to make an extra 500 bucks a month, you can go deliver for DoorDash and make 500 bucks. You don't have to know much because you just follow the app. But if you want to do something more significant with your lives, you've got to grow your skill set. I'm having to grow my skill set. I'm 71. Cheryl and I are pretty capable, but our skill set is growing dramatically this year. And we're realizing that being a learner is one of our gifts. We're both learners. Somebody was at my house the other day and they said, "Are you and Cheryl both neat or just one of you?" And I said, "We're both neat. Neither one of us likes clutter." And so, but we work at our house being non-cluttered and organized and peaceful. So as you look at your life and what you want to do, you've got to continue to grow. And Cheryl and I both are always learning, always growing. And I want to encourage you that if you're not, it's time to start taking a little bit of time each day to learn and grow. Does that make sense?
It
And and
does.
and it can be a book, my Jamie Winship books, it can be listening to podcasts. For sure, if you're doing this business, you need to be listening to Jay. And I've got a couple of my Christian friends like, well, he may not be Christian. It's like he may not be a Christian, but he's a really smart guy, and you can learn a bunch from him. So we kind of sometimes need to get past. I told somebody first time I saw him, I thought, oh, big bald Indian guy, and I thought, how can I learn from a big bald Indian guy? Then I started listening to him talk, and it's like there's a lot to learn from him. So we have to always be in the learning mode. Okay, a couple of housekeeping things. Um, I don't think anybody on this call's got placements that need to get done before the end of the month. We've got that all squared away, right? And everybody's checked your back office if you've got commissions to make sure you placed an order. Elaine was on the call today saying, make sure everybody's placed their order so they get their paycheck. And I'm thinking, if you're getting a paycheck, you should know how to check and make sure you're qualified for the month. So remember, you always need in your back office to see if that $90 monthly qualification went through, which is why I encourage you to be on auto ship and have that be done the first week of the month so you're not sitting there today hoping that it all works out. So what we're going to do is Lene really helped me a bunch today. And we took, now the mouse isn't working. That's great. We took to heart the fact that I needed to create a business model for you guys how to build this business. Um, because Cheryl's going to teach you how to use the product, but you have to also learn how to build a business. So let's do a screen share and see if we can make this work. So this is hot off the press today. And um, hmm, wonder how we get it so that it just shows the presentation part. I don't know. Okay, I got to get you guys out of the way. Put you over here. Okay, can everybody see that? Okay, I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
F5.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so all of you have been in network marketing for a long time. Uh, and the last piece of business, if you're going to the event in September in Las Vegas, the 1st of February, I need to make sure I know that and we have it on the list. And we're getting that stuff all squared away the rest of this week. Okay. Okay. If you've been in the network marketing business forever, everybody always draws circles. And last week when we were talking about this, the little Lego thing from Riley popped in my mind. I said, why are we drawing circles? We're going to have a Lego plan because everybody likes playing with Legos. And Legos are building blocks. And when you have enough building blocks, you can build anything you want to build with a little bit of creativity. So we're no longer doing circles, we're doing Legos. This is called the Lego plan. The Lego plan is fun. What we do changes people's lives instantly. It's easy, and we are always building a community. You guys got to remember, always building a community, okay? Slide 2. This is working. This is okay, right? You can see slide 2. Okay. So the foundation is you. on SmartShip. Why are you on SmartShip? Because it's the most cost affordable way for you to buy product, correct? In other words, it's kind of stupid to be on SmartShip for two when you can buy one more and get a fourth one for free. So I've built this plan assuming that everybody's on SmartShip for four products so that they're paying for three. And with the price increase that happens on Thursday, this is going to definitely save you a lot of money. Now, Cheryl has her favorite four, but I think with Super Patch, you should also have your favorite four. Now, I did not give you, in the notes that went out today, I did not give you these slides because I got to make sure they work. I did, in the notes that went out today, send you what AI gave me on Jay's presentation on the business. So there's, in your notes today, download for your reading pleasure, for your studying, for your learning, the business building notes that is a summary of an entire presentation Jay did for 1 hour on everything about the business. There's a ton of stuff in there that you can read, learn, and know. And then once we've got these slides good, I'll get them to you guys as well. So know your favorite four. Now, for me, it's Patch and Move. And I'm going to make t-shirts up to have this stuff on. For some of you, your goal may be Patch and Smile. So when somebody says, why are you doing this? Because it makes me happy. It got rid of my depression. It may be Patch and Sleep. If Super Patch does nothing but more than give you a good night's sleep, if it helps you get rid of your ADHD, if it gives you energy, what's your combination? What's your four? You need to know your patches. And then most of you have somebody else that you're living with. What's your family combo? So, Priscilla's going to have her favorites and she'll have the ones for Peter. And everybody should have their first aid kit combo. Like a bunch of people are calling this week. We're sick. What should we do? Well, if you've got the flu and I have to mail you stuff, you could be, weeks into this. So your first aid kit should always, in my opinion, include Freedom and Defend. So what's your combo for your first aid kit? What's your family combo? What are your favorite four? This is the building block of the business. Pause for questions. Everybody's got a Lego. The Lego goes on the board. When Riley built, he's got this board that he snaps everything, snaps on these boards. He's got a big building board that this stuff snaps on. So once that is in place, we don't need to go back and negotiate the basics. If you don't want to do this, then in reality, you're just a customer buying product occasionally when you need it. But you have to be able to teach and determine who your business builders are. And this is part one. Questions? Are we good?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This said foundation. So the rest of the foundation. Our motto, our business building motto is what?
I have a patch for
Patch
that.
for that.
Now, you can also approach this by saying, I have a business opportunity. I'm of the opinion that in this season, most people don't want business opportunities. They would actually rather just drive for Uber and make 20 bucks. But there are people that want a business opportunity. So we have that. But we also have the ability to come through the door that says, I have a patch for that. And what I'm finding for me is there's a lot more people interested in, I have a patch for that than, hey, would you like to come to a business opportunity meeting? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if your motto is, I have a patch for that, then this little sheet over here, which is, you can print out a nice copy of it. If you remember, if you're at lifestyleforhealth.com, you click on the tab for SP member at the top. It takes you to the page that has all of our videos and all of the documents that we're using, which I'm working to keep updated. So it's right there, lifestyleforhealth.com/SP training will take it to you. So this sheet, you should have printed out in color on a nice piece of paper so you don't look sloppy. And you can do black and white, but you can get it laminated. I print it out on photo paper. You can get somebody to do it for you. But this sheet of paper, you can hand this to somebody and say, which one of these do you think would help you? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
There's 13 problems on there, and there's going to be 2 more added in February, one for better mental focus, mental clarity, and one for nausea. So pretty much everybody can look at this sheet and say, oh, I have that problem. And then you say, I have a patch for that, which is a novel, unique way of helping people solve medical problems with non-medical solutions.
Forrest,
Yep.
I have done this sheet. I did 2 on one side. So I got two of these. They're little, like half the height, 8.5 by 11. And I put my sticker on the bottom, and that's what I hand out to people. It's a little bit cheaper.
Perfect. And yes, you should have your name or your sticker on you should have your name on this. And that's a great idea to just hand it to people and have them to go out. I have all the equipment here at home, so it's easy to do, but somebody's got a color printer wherever you go and you can print these out. I was talking with a lady called in yesterday. So my conversations obviously are with people already buying stuff from me. You have to create the conversations in your community. And she ordered some enzymes, and then asked her a question. She said, well, yes, we have, she wanted I think the REM patch. And so I said, okay, I'll send you some REM patches. And I said, what other problems do you have? And she said, well, none really, other than the fact I just hurt all the time. I said, well, I have a patch for that. She said, really? I said, how about since you already ordered $100 from me, I'll just send you some for free and you try them. Okay, so doors are open for you to say, I've got a patch for that. And then Nancy Stewart, I don't know if Nancy's on tonight. Nancy and Doretta are the queen at always having some sample packs in their purses wherever they go. So this is your pack, this is your sleeve. You can stick these in your purse, you can put baggies in, but you don't have to carry all 13, but the ones that are demonstrable, which are what? What is immediately demonstrable with this? Liberty is the main one. Victory does about the same thing. And freedom.
So it's
You don't,
peace.
if you're meeting somebody at an event, you don't want to put the REM patch on and say, go guy, go. REM patch will work, but that's not your, opening ticket during the middle of the day. Okay.
Peace is also, Forrest.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, Jeannie Garrett put the peace patch on somebody at a restaurant the other day. She said she went from to crying in 2 minutes.
Oh,
And she's like, what's happening? She said, I only feel like this when I'm totally drunk. Something's happening. It took all the edge off of her and just calmed her down. It opened
was
up
that
some
peace?
Yep.
Okay.
Now remember, when you put a patch on somebody and something happens that's unexpected, one, it confirms that the patch works, right?
Yep.
And two, says there may be some issues we got to deal with there.
Mm-hmm.
It opens the door for you to say, well, that's interesting. And then when you got, like Cheryl's been on the phone every day this week with somebody, she just sits in her chair and talks to people about solving problems using the patches and other tools. So that's why she's not seeing clients every day now, so she can help people solve these problems. And those are the stories that you're getting on the Thursday calls. The purpose of you getting those calls on Thursdays is so that you can learn to create solutions. Somebody texted me about how should we do this, and she said, oh, duh. She's a healthcare professional. I should muscle test, shouldn't I? I go, yeah, why don't you try muscle testing? Why don't you try experimenting? Why don't you try seeing what happens? Okay.
Hey, Forrest,
Yep.
you said the victory was immediate. What is the result of that?
Victory is pretty similar to the Liberty patch.
Okay.
Okay. And you guys should watch over and over and then go practice doing the balance test on people. Now, Holly, if you're, testing somebody in your center there that's 80 years old, you just don't want to just grab them and tip them over. If I'm working with somebody that's unstable, I kind of make sure if I start to tip them over, I catch them. Okay. It's just kind of an important thing when you're working with an unstable person. But Liberty and Victory, I would stick with Liberty and Peace Patch. And what else do we say?
Freedom.
Freedom. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom for pain. If you don't get an immediate reaction on freedom, slap a second one on or add a peace patch to it. All of that helps. Okay. This is so cool. I got this off of my notes I was studying the other day. And how many of you remember grade school show and tell?
Yep.
Could everybody in class do show and tell?
Yes. Yep.
I used to run a class. Even the kids not very bright could do show and tell to the point of like, okay, you need to sit down and stop talking now. So show and tell, every kid in school can do. Now, how many of you enjoyed chemistry class in college?
Nope.
Okay. How many of you enjoyed biology class? How many of you enjoyed
Yes.
learning to use the
Yes.
slide rule? Okay. All of our previous network marketing businesses have always been science class. Part of why the Lego plan works is because it's show and tell. And when you build something with Legos, you get done building it and then you go show it to people and they go, that's cool, right? Anybody can build something with Legos. And you got your little building block over here, right? Use Smart Ship and Your little game plan, I have a patch for that. Okay, so show and tell is the foundation of what we do. The skill set to develop is learning to listen for problems.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have at least 13 problems we can solve. When somebody mentions a problem, you get to offer an easy and demonstrable solution. Cheryl connected with somebody on Facebook this week. She said, call them. I called them. They're 82 years old. They got a lot going on in their life. Not sure she wants to do the business, but she started telling me about some of her husband's issues. Well, what were they? He's 82. He's a great guy, strong Christian. But what do you think his 3 issues were?
Balance.
Pain.
And getting up and moving.
Well, that's
Sleep.
balance. Sleep,
Sleep.
yes. Those are. I said, well, how about I stick some of those in the mail to you? Because remember, I bought a bunch of them on sale last month. So how about I stick some of those in the mail to you? Because if she does this, she knows a lot of people. So if you're talking with somebody that's a significant influencer, it's worth spending $15 on samples. So I got 3 in the mail, and I said, when you get these, call Cheryl, and she'll walk you through what to do with these on your husband, and then we'll see how it goes. So we're sending her 3 easy, demonstrable solutions for 3 problems that she told me they had. Okay, the balance test is something all of you should be learning how to do. Anybody that went through Z Health with me knows how to do that. And last week, several of you said, how do we do samples? This is my new recommendation. As of January, all of the packs will have 30 samples. It's 30 patches, right? So put 5 in a pack for $10. You'll get 6 packs out of each one of your sleeves, right? Because 5 times 6 is 30. So that means 6 times 10 is how much?
$60.
You sell those. So if Holly sells those to people at the center, which is the easy thing, if you're working with older folks or people not too capable, do you want them to have to try to sign up? No, just collect a $10 bill. Okay. And if you do that, you're going to make $60. Now, depending on how you buy your kit, your packs, we're just going to generically say that you're spending about $40 a pack, plus or minus. So if you paid 40 and you sell it for 60, you've made how much?
20.
Which is 50%. That's you're making money sampling your product. And nobody had to give you more than $10. And then
Got it.
occasionally you throw in some free ones. And does that make sense? You with me?
Yep.
Okay. So nobody has to order. They just try it because we have an easy demonstrable solution. And 5 will usually be enough for somebody to see if they're working out. Somebody said, I have skin problems. Can I get a Lumi sample pack? The Lumi sample pack will not do anything in 5 days. That's, you need to wear that for a month. Some of these take time to use. So that's why you got to know your product. But if you put a focus patch on a little guy that's got ADHD and they calm down in 5 minutes, you pretty much know you're onto something. Now, after we've done that, we then go to a customer order. So they're going to go to your name, .superpatch.com, and they're going to hit the shop button. I'll be curious to see how that page flows after Thursday when they've got all the prices done, but you'll want to check that out. We can talk more
Okay.
about that later.
So,
Okay. So when they place their first order on your customer site, u.superpatch.com, part of the learning curve is you should poke around on that site, know it's there. You should practice signing up a pretend customer. You can take somebody all the way through becoming a customer and just don't spend any money. Your price, when they go to your website and order as a customer with your initial promo discount, they're going to be spending $51.75 a pack. Okay? That's
Yes.
what that will be on everything starting on Thursday. Now,
Okay.
after they've done that first order, their next order as a customer is going to go to, it's not on here, $69. That's the customer price of $69.
Yeah.
So the logical thing for you to do after that first couple of weeks is to convert them to a member, right?
Yes.
And then as a member, they go on Smart Ship and they're going to pay for 4 packs. It's going to be $141 plus tax and shipping. So 150 something, because that 141 is 3 times 47, which is a new price for Smart Ship for you on Smart Ship. Does everybody follow those numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. They can order less. They can place a one-time order. If you place a one-time order as a member, it will be $51.75. So that works as well.
I'm sorry, say that again for us.
If you place a single order as a member, it's going to be $51.75.
Okay.
If you place yes, and then your smart chip orders are going to be 47, and then it says 47 times 3. You'll see all of that new pricing will show up on Thursday, and we'll walk through that again next week. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys with me so far?
Yep.
Show and tell, science class, sample products. Now, yesterday somebody said, I really want to do this, but I just can't afford to do the business. I said, why? She said, well, you said we have to buy a big pack, the $1,500 pack. Well, obviously, if you're starting a business and you invest a little bit more money and you have a little bit more inventory, is it easier to get started? Yes. But if you don't have a lot of money, can you start with a little bit of money?
Yes.
So Mark and Ann got a little commission check last month, $100 or something, a couple $100. And Ann called up and said, guess what we did, Forrest? She said, we reinvested our commission check in a new product. They're building up their product inventory with the $100 they made. And we went through, a big disaster around here about 13 years ago financially. And I'll tell you that I negotiated with all my vendors to buy less than minimum quantities. I was ordering every week. Every time I sold a bottle of product, I go, thank you, Lord, for $20. And I just kept taking that $20 I made and we rebuilt ourselves from scratch. So, and if you've been to the downside, know that you can rebuild. It takes more effort than if you have extra money and you've got some resources. But you don't, as long as you've got some product, you're off to the races. But you will need some product, right?
Yeah.
So let's just assume that you decided that your name was Patch and Move. So you need a Liberty patch, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you want to start your business and you're going, well, we need product for other people. I don't need sleep and I don't need pain, but other people are going to need, and I don't need peace. So you do your smart chip for 4 products. Now you've got 3 that you can demo with and a little bit of this extra one. So you see, we can start taking a few patches and you can demo the main ones without having everything. Good?
Yeah.
Mark is
Yeah.
nodding sagely. That's a good sign. Mark's a business guy. Okay, so we're down to membership. Membership has its benefits. You get the best price. We hopefully get people to become consumers, not customers, consumers for life, because we have 13 and more coming non-medical solutions for major health problems. So people become consumers for life, hopefully. Some people will just be promoters. They'll tell their friends will buy some product. Basically, it's customers telling customers. How many of you have ever referred friends to other stuff and they go buy and they're happy? Okay. And then some people, like all of you on this call, will become builders who are looking for long-term residual income. So you start with what you can afford, a Flex 40 kit, maybe some extra product on your smart chip, making sure you got a little bit of inventory. And this is huge. We'll talk about it another time. When somebody buys the Flex 40 kit, which will be $1,600 next week, they will get paid as a managing director for the first 3 months. You don't need to understand that, but if a person is a builder, it increases their commissions significantly while they're getting their business built to that point. So the comp plan is here. And when you're managing director, the comp plan is here. It lets you get paid in that range. Just trust me, it's a better plan if you're building fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, the foundation is right here, right? This is your building block. Let's go take a look at what happens. So I've got to give you some definitions on this page. Made it really simple. When you're looking at the comp plan, you're going to see 3 things. You're going to see qualifying volume. Everything's going to say QV, and some of it's going to say BV. How many of you notice those little letters on stuff? Okay, QV. Now this is, I don't know, I know why they do it. This makes network marketing awkward, but it is what it is. QV is your qualifying volume. It's used to determine your promotion level, your rank promotion. Bonus volume is less than QV. We'll get to that in a minute. You get paid commissions on the bonus volume. So QV, which is bigger, is your promotion. BV is what's actually being divided up for commissions. So the difference between BV and QV, that all goes to the company. That's kind of all company money. So if BV is $10 and QV is 15, that means the company's keeping 5, and then they're paying your commissions on the other part. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
the assumptions that I put into this, we have to make assumptions when we make a plan, right? They're conservative. The numbers that I'm showing you do not include customer volume. They don't include you buying product over and above your smart ship. They don't include kit purchases. So if Priscilla signs up tomorrow and buys a kit, that's $1,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've made the assumptions based on she's just doing $200. So every time kits get purchased, that's more. Every time customers buy, that's more. I'm on my smart ship for 4 packs. My daughter's on her smart ship for 4 packs. And then last month I spent an additional $6,000 on product. That 6,000 is not built into what I'm going to show you. You good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're going to take our Legos. You're at the bottom. Everybody's Lego looks exactly the same because we're doing the minimum. Okay. So what we have is, remember, we're paying for 3 products and getting 4.
Mm-hmm.
But the math is all done based on what you paid for. I hate doing this because my arthritis finger looks weird. It doesn't hurt, it just looks weird on video. Okay, so that should be the 4th product that we get for free. Okay, you with me? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we say you're buying 4, but you're paying 3. So down, all of our numbers have to be based on 3. So qualifying volume is $69 on all kits, on all packs. So
Mm.
if I'm on the bottom, so I'm looking at the screen right now. So I'm going to say, so Priscilla is my block on the left. So if she's on Smart Ship, that's 3 times 69. So she is putting $207 into the qualifying volume per column.
Mm-hmm.
But I get paid on the fact that it's 41.40. So I'm getting paid commissions on the 124.
Okay.
Pause for questions. We good? We'll go over this more. Tonight's my practice run to teach it. So each of my 3 people have that amount of volume in place. So that's like there's you, but this is the nut of the whole thing. This is what we want to master, because we're going to take this little block right here, and we're just going to keep stacking them up.
Yeah.
So instead of doing circles down into a triangle that nobody likes, we're actually building a business with Legos that have the Legos have these little things here we can hook people together. We make this a strong thing. It doesn't fall apart. And all of this is premised on what? You have a patch for that. Watch what happens. Your first business goal, is to qualify for the business builder bonus. What is the business builder bonus? When your diagram looks like this at the end of the month, so you have 3 people, you qualify for 2 free packs of product as a bonus. The company does that because they want to give you free product so you can go sample it and demo it. So here's the difference, though. There's one little difference on this page. This says, notice, Smart Ship for what?
2.
2 plus packs. Now, our business model says what? 4. But to qualify for this plan, I just need 3 people who are each on Smart Ship for 2 packs.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to call that the stupid ship. But if somebody's on a budget, it's okay. As long as you've got 3 that are on 2 packs, which is $90, the company's going to send you 2 packs of product for free. So that's basically, $100, right?
Yes.
Point of clarification here for us.
Yep.
Personal enrolled, is that correct?
Yes, that's part 2. Thank you, Ron. Now, if I place 3 people underneath Ron's structure looks kind of like this, doesn't it? Except it doesn't, because I put them there, and these are not. I need to put that on there, Ron. Thank you. These have to be 3 that Ron is personally enrolled. Now, I could take 3 people I personally enrolled and put them under Ron. There goes the beagle. I will still get they're my 3, So I'll still get my business builder bonus even though I placed some underneath Ron. We good on that? So remember I said this is kind of a perfect world. What happens, all of you on this call have people that have been placed in your downline. Priscilla, you can just hit the mute button and then that'll solve. Okay. So our business builder model is you have sponsored 3. But if I put 10 people underneath Ron, is Ron in the business builder mode yet? No. He's in the thank you for the gift mode, which is a win. But Ron does not have this picture. This is what you do if you're a business builder. If I put 100 people under Mark and Ann and they've done nobody, yes, they're getting a thank you check. And yes, they could do okay. I'll give you the perfect example is my daughter. You all know I've told you I'm doing this for Anna because it supports what she does. Anna's picture does not look like this. Now, it looks like this on paper, but she doesn't get free product. Because why? She has not personally enrolled 3 people. You want to know why? We were in another network marketing company. She lost all of her friends over it. So she still has emotional baggage from when we were selling shakes 10 years ago. Now, she's at church and everybody's talking about all their kids being sick. I mean, literally, they're in a group, they're all talking about their kids being sick. Anna says, well, I don't get sick. And I said, well, what would have been a good thing to say when everybody's talking about their kids getting sick? What would have been easy to say? Thank you, Connie. I've got a patch for that. Well, Anna thinks she might lose her friends over that. Okay. Now, at some point, she'll realize that maybe, and she can do this plan and she can put these 3 people any place in her downline. It's kind of the differentiation here. And then she'll start getting her builder bonus. Okay. So you need to know who's yours. Now, one other piece on this. So today's December 30th. So Ron looks at his downline report and goes, yep, I have 3 who I've personally sponsored, personally enrolled, and they're all on SmartShip for at least 2 or more. And they have individual orders don't count. Only SmartShip counts for this bonus. It's a brilliant, brilliant thing that they've done. You don't get free product. You still have to buy your product and then you get free product. Ron will not get his free product next month. He'll get his free product in February. The reason for that is there's a 30-day return policy. They're not going to send Ron free product until his 3 people are past the return policy window. So if Ron does this for the first time this month, then February 1st or 2nd, he's going to get an email that says, you qualify for the business builder bonus. Log into your back office and pick your products. And it'll take him into the order page and he'll pay $7.50 for shipping. No tax, he'll just pay $7.50. Okay, but then once Ron's in this mode, then after that, every month it shows up. So you just missed the first month. Good with that? Okay. So that's
Forrest,
$100.
question.
That's $100 for doing this. That's pretty easy. Go ahead, Phyllis.
Forrest, quick question. So if somebody drops, let's say they've done SmartShip for 3 months and then they decide, well, I can't afford SmartShip this month and they cancel it, then
Yep.
that would delay then that builder bonus for you'd like skip
Yep.
a month unless they went back to kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, so you probably want to eventually have more. Remember, I said this is the minimum. Now, the people that are going to cancel their in and out of their SmartShip are not really builders. Remember, we're talking building blocks, right? Now, the reality is, because of the pricing, our customers are going to become what? Members. And they're going to come and go on their orders, which is why in the back of your mind, you need to tell yourself there's a difference between a member builder and a member customer. Mark and Ann, what I did is I put a bunch of my customers under Mark and Ann because that was the first month and I just needed a place to put them. So, and I told Ann, I said, you don't have a business. You're a parking lot for my customer members. So now suddenly Ann actually has a potential builder because we never know what's going to happen. So are you guys clear on that difference?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So far, so good?
Mm.
Now, let's look at we're starting to earn commissions. So this is very cool. How many packs are you paying for?
3.
How many are you getting? 4 plus what?
2.
So you're now getting 6 packs for the price of
3.
3. How cool is that? Now let's look at your commissions. So that's based on just your bonuses. Now let's take your commissions. So we have $124 in BV coming from each of your 3 people, correct? I need to change this slide. That slide should say plus 4 packs. Okay, so there's $124 in BV coming from each of these. Remember back here?
Mm-hmm.
Right here, this is 124 times 3. That's what we're working off of. Okay, so you have 124 times 3. How much BV do we have? $372. Now, depending on where you're at in the comp plan, you're either going to make $37 or $55 on that. And that's going to vary based on your promotion level. Remember I said managing director? Managing director gets paid 15%. Senior associate gets paid 10%. So we're just going to say, I put this in for integrity. We're going to just say you're going to probably make about $50 in commissions. So you got your free product and about $50. So you're now making about $150. Your business is now break even. If we're thinking about this as a business, your business is breaking even. How about that? Or you can say, I already made a decision to buy the patches. So now you can say, I've got an extra $150. I need to be buying more product. So I have some stuff to build my business with. So far, so good? I'm going to see 4 faces. So if you got to say something, jump out.
Forrest,
Yes.
yeah, you said, when I was asking you, when I did that market thing here, you said there's no records really to have to keep, as a business that, I've already paid tax on it and I'm just, charging that amount. But when you start getting commissions, there are records, right, that you got to keep.
So let's keep the tax advice really simple tonight.
Yeah.
At the point that you make more than $600, you're going to get a 1099 from Super Patch that says you made money. And on your tax form, you're going to have to put down that you had 1099 income of however much you made in commissions. And then you're going to have to pay taxes on that.
Okay, so the level is 600 once you make more than $600 in a what period of time?
In a year.
Okay,
Now,
thank you.
technically, the IRS would say you need to report everything. I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't report. But
Okay,
once you start earning commissions, you do have a taxable income issue.
okay, thank you.
So you should never, make $100,000 in network marketing and spend it all, because if you make $100,000, you should have escrowed about 30 grand for taxes. If you're small, not too big a deal, but yeah, be aware of that. Okay, so let's do a summary.
Forrest,
what
does
we
it
have here.
matter if we order 2 packs for ourselves, or do we need to be ordering the 3 and get 1 free?
2 qualifies you for commissions. All the company says is you have to do 2 to be qualified. That's, remember, we back up here. So when
Right.
we're doing this little plan, this is the minimum, but the Lego plan,
Right.
the call the coach made, I'm your coach. Coach said you should do 4 because you get 1 free, but you can do 2 and it works. Okay. 4 just makes everything be a little bit happier. And I do have people that don't have a lot of money and they order 1 or 2. That's fine. But if somebody's a business builder and you can get 3 free packs of product every month to build your business with, that's kind of the smart plan.
Mhm.
So let's look at where we're at now. Now I've added some red blocks on here. The red blocks are to show you that you're going to have customers. So remember, we always are going to have customers and kit volume. That's going to make this plan better than it is, but I can't put that on the chart because it gets weird. Make sense? Okay, so what do we have now? This is you. Now, each one of these three people, can you see my cursor? Each one of these three people has to do what? The same
Yep.
thing, the same thing you just did. So each one of these, and I didn't put the blocks down here because it looks awkward. So each one of your business people, you know that things are starting to move in the right direction when each one of these three has done this. And the red is just bonus, it's customers. And I think all of you will end up with more customers than you will business partners. Just the nature of it. Because a lot of people just want to buy product. I've got a lot of customers. You could easily, Doretta, end up with 10 or 15 customers before you get a business. But you've got, Teresa is your business builder, and everybody else on your list is kind of customers right now. You guys with me on the difference there? Okay, so let's look what you have for income. You're now a team leader. A team leader is somebody who has $3,000 in what? QV. How many builders are on this chart? How many blocks do we have?
12.
9, 10, 11, 12, right? So QV is 207 times 13. Now, why did I put in 13? Because for qualifying volume, what you purchase counts. So your qualifying volume, just on the minimum, is 2691. Is that close to 3,000? You got some customers, somebody bought a kit. This little model should generate you 3,000 every month to make you a team leader. Okay. Some of you may want to just order some Lego kits and just draw this out, lay it on the dining room table. Bonus volume, remember, is 124 times how many people are you getting paid on? 12. That's 1488. And I put in 15% because we're assuming that you're going to get paid at the higher level. Could be 10, but it's now 15% is on if they're all your enrollments. Remember, if I put this whole leg in here, Ron's going to get paid differently on that than he's going to get paid when he does it. So remember, this is just what you did. None of this model reflects the gift plan. And all of you, once you get going, will be gifting people to somebody in your downline. So the gift is going to always roll forward. So we have $223 in commissions at 15%, plus $100 in free products. You're going to be making $300 plus $100 a month with this model. So you're now profitable. And our underlying premise is what? I have a patch for that. Mark and Ann have been on these calls from the very beginning. Best I can tell, they didn't sign up to get rich. They signed up. They're on the calls because Mark could start walking again.
Exactly right.
And Ann could start holding her needle. They are customers. They start out as totally customers, but they're of everybody in this call, I think they're the only ones that haven't missed a call yet. They're also retired and they're in Florida and they're not close to the beach, so they don't have anything else. They don't have anything else to do on a Tuesday night. But they have been on the call since we started these 3 months ago. Guess what they're becoming? Business builders, based on their speed, their lifestyle, and everything they're doing. Okay, does this make sense to you guys? Now, what do you think is going to happen next? We just do this again, don't we? There's a little saying called rinse and repeat. How many of you know rinse and repeat? I kept looking at rinse and repeat. It didn't make any sense. So we changed it to teach and repeat. How's that grab you? Teach and repeat. So what we've done is we've taught everybody how to do a very simple thing, right? Which is this. That's what we've taught everybody. Now, I took the numbers off so this looks better. And these little letters here say business partner. So everybody's doing this is now a business partner. And then you got the red ones, the customers, which should be a lot more. And then here we have business partners, and here we have business partners. So you are duplicating this model and duplicating this model and duplicating this model. So we keep putting, there's nothing creative about this. It's the same three Legos over and over and over. The wall sticks together when everybody's kind of committed to the game plan. So just look at, this is kind of the big picture now. This is what's so cool about this compensation plan. You don't have to do anything except what I've showed you, and you'll make $100,000 a year. So the next promotion, we just did what up here? Team leader, right? Making $300 to $500. Teach and repeat. How do we go from 3,000 to 11,000? In my mind, that's kind of like 3 times 3, right? So 3 times 3 is 9, which is what? Almost 11, right? So in this drawing, how many partners do we have? We add them all up. I'll just tell you right off the top of my head, it's 40 because it's 3, 9, and 27. So you got 40 builders plus customers plus kits. Are you going to be over 11,000? Yep, because you got like 9,000 just in the basics. So that's how you go to director. And when you go director, you make a $150 director bonus. Some of you got that this last month because of all the kits we sold. So it's like a thank you for going there. Now, the next promotion is what? Managing director. Whoa, guess what? 33 is 3 times 11. Remember I said we built 3 teams? There's some nuances to this, but if you focus on this, and will it work out exactly like this? No, because this team over here may take off and go faster, and this may limp along, and this may do okay. In other words, everybody's not going to do perfect, but we have a visual plan, right, Holly? We're giving people like Holly a visual plan so she can look at the paper and go, visually, this is kind of where we're headed. It's kind of like when you get married, you kind of got a visual plan for 3 kids, kitchen, a garage, 2 cars. It won't work out quite like that, but you got a vision for a house, 3 kids, 2 cars, a job. And then one of the kids goes here and one goes here, and then you end up with a bunch more move in, but we have a plan. So 3 times 30, so 3 times 11 is 33,000, makes you a managing director. And that check's going to be in the $1,000 range, probably 1,500 to 2,000. It's going to vary, but managing director, I think my managing director check was about 4,000 a month. I did that. So it just depends. You could kind of run these numbers at about 10% and come out pretty close. It depends on whether or not you're the enroller or you're in the gift program. If you're in the gift program, it's going to be less. If you're in the enroller program, it's more. My check will always be bigger than most people's checks because Cheryl and I just happen to be big enrollers. Why are we big enrollers? Because we've got 40 years of influence under our belt. If you have no influence, you've never done this before, it's going to be a little less. But guess what? Does that matter? As long as Mark and Ann understand this and this, they will get there. Why? Because this program is based not on a science project, it's based on show and tell. Now, 3 managing directors makes you a vice president. That's your $5,000 to $10,000 a month income. For how many of you does that work? As a business builder, over the course of the next year, in my opinion, all of you should be thinking about this goal right here over the next 12 months. And I'm saying that because I think you got 2 great coaches. I think you got a great product. I think we got a really good game plan. And I know we can do this because my friend Doretta, who's never done this before, is putting patches on people and she's building a business. And it's not negative, but Doretta's older than me and she's never had success like this before. If Doretta can go out and have success with this, guess what? Right, Doretta?
Mhm.
And then she gets stuck and she calls me. I go, okay, I got to book out 10 minutes. And she'll usually call me from somebody's house. But every time she calls me from somebody's house, she's in that constant learning mode. Now, she might get here a little slower, but is she on track? Yes. So if your Lego wall takes 2 years to build, is that okay? But I honestly believe that we have to get in our head that this company is on a massive trajectory this next year. I was working with my AI coach and she's like, Forrest, if you don't build fast, you're going to miss a lot of people because of all the advertising and marketing they're doing. She said, because we're debating how much I'm going to pay them to make Cheryl a social influencer. They want to take Cheryl, make her an influencer. And I said, it's going to cost a lot of money. She said, if you get after this, you're going to make a lot more because we're at the bottom of the curve right now, and this curve is getting ready to go. I think Super Patch is going to go very fast because nobody else has what we have. Nobody else has a network marketing company that's just show and tell. Nobody else has got me for their coach. Okay. How many of you have heard this saying before?
From Cheryl.
It's not easy, it's too hard. That's why we're doing Legos. Legos are child's play. So what's our summary? Build a strong foundation. What's the foundation? Right here. Learn to teach the basics well. Everything we did today, I think all of you can learn to do over the next period of time. Send you the PowerPoint. I spent 2 hours getting the notes to Lene. Then I spent 2 hours with her on this today. Tonight's my first time with this. And this came out of what I did with you guys last week. So I have been immersing myself in creating this. And then this is my first time on this presentation. So for me, this is what? Learning curve. So if it's a learning curve for me, then what's it going to be for you? I just happen to make the slides. And at some point, Phyllis will call up and say, Forrest, if you change this, it'll be better. And I'll go, good idea, Phyllis. We are focused on consumers for life. You need to learn to plug into your team, plug into the upline, plug into the corporate calls. You need to have a little model that says every week I'm going to learn and grow a little bit. Every week I'm going to do a push-up. I figured out something a while back, and I've stopped doing it. I figured out if at age 60 I can bench press 90 pounds, that's not great. But if I never stop bench pressing 90 pounds, in other words, if I always make sure, if every day starting at 60 I bench press 90 pounds, right? Well, by the time I'm 90, what will I still be bench pressing?
90 pounds.
And guess what? Everybody else will be dead, and I'll be the grand champion. I mean, seriously, if I want to be the bench press grand champion, I need to get 90 pounds good down now. And then when I'm 90, I'll be there. So we have to learn and grow a little bit every week. And then we need to course correct as needed because the world is going to change on us. And what's that famous thing? That's all, folks.
That's
Okay.
good. That's
Questions,
good.
comments? Stop the share so I can see everybody's on the call. Okay, Ron, you're my teacher friend. How do we do? Can't hear you, buddy.
Great job. And the personally qualified is a key point because you have gifted all of us, me included. So now I have to do my part and get my 3. So we're awesome all the time.
Okay, but did this flow okay, Ron?
Yeah, I thought it flowed very well.
Okay.
Very well.
We'll clean it up. We'll find little pieces on it. But I think I'm a lot better than last week, right?
Hey, we're growing.
Last week we had Holly sitting there going, "Can you make this a drawing for me for us?" I'm going, "No, I can't make a drawing." This week we made a drawing. Phyllis, did it work for you? Connie, we're good. Melinda,
Yes, absolutely.
Teresa. I don't know who Wally is, so Wally, you might tell me who you are. I don't know who you are. Terry, I'm not. Terry, I've got to call you still. Is that the Terry that emailed me that I need to call?
Good to go now. Bye-bye.
Okay, Melinda, good?
To your question, I'm good. Yes, I'm babysitting tonight, so.
Okay.
Got it
Okay.
done.
Monique in the Bahamas, we good?
Yeah, I learned a lot. That's why I need to see this again.
Okay. We'll get the replay posted and then we'll keep doing it. You realize we've gone to $250,000 in sales and without a business plan?
Pretty good.
Well, but here's what that tells us. Show and tell works. But we can't go into next year without a plan.
Right.
And you guys keep patching people, but you actually, I have had this in my brain, but I realized all of you need a visual. So thank you, Holly, for telling us that we need a visual. So now you have a visual for what you're building. And remember, no problem with the gift plan. You just need to be building yours in addition to the gift plan. The gift plan just accelerates what you're doing. But like Ron said, at the end of the day, he still wants to do his part. Now, technically, Ron could do 2 and then the one I gave him, and that would work out. But he's always going to be a little bit weaker because he didn't have the 3rd one.
Yeah.
And remember, if I've given Ron 1 leg and he's got to build 2, he can take his third person and put him in one of those legs, can he? Because the three personals can go anywhere down there. They just need to be your personals because they get placed anywhere in the organization. They still count as your personals. Teresa, did this help you? Sure did, she said out loud. Okay. Wow.
Can I give an encouraging word for us? Is
Never discourage. Oh yeah, that song. What's that song? Never a discouraging word was heard. Yes.
Is this transition to 2026? A lot of other people that God always gives me kind of a theme for the year, and the theme I've shared it with you and Cheryl is 26 will be a year of open doors. Stay alert. And then evaluating 2025, I love Cheryl's posts, is don't evaluate 25 on what you earned or what project you did. Is where did you grow? Am I more compassionate? Am I more patient? Am I more intuitive in helping people? So those are my two little things for transition to 2026.
And Cheryl's going to be talking about open doors all the time. You know, remember in all of our old meetings, you used to say, when you hit a mountain, go over it, go under it, go around it, blow it up. Why don't we just look for the open doors instead? You know, it's a lot easier if there's already a tunnel to go through. So I really do believe that Super Patch is an open door for us. And that for a lot of us who've struggled with network marketing for a long time, this is a very wonderful open door to go through. And, you know, we still got some bumps, right? We still got shipping issues. Somebody called me today and said, I can't find my order. So there's still going to be bumps, but the door we're going through is open.
Yep. Yeah, there's a good picture of a wall with 3 doors, and 2 of them are locked, and people are spending all their time trying to open the locked doors, and the third door's unlocked, and it's just open. Just walk through it.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. And we did that all in 57 minutes. That's crazy amazing.
Perfect.
Forrest, I have a question. This is Sally.
Hey, Sally. Oh, Sally
I-
phone. Okay, good.
I don't know how I show up on the thing. I had an order come through the 1st of December that I was shocked. I wasn't expecting it, so I stopped my auto ship. I'm gonna smart ship, but I'm gonna start it again the 1st or the 2nd. That doesn't mess up my commissions when I stop it, when I cancel it and then restart it. That doesn't mess up my smart ship, does it? Or my commissions?
What you need to do, Sally, is we need to look in the back office and see whether or not it says you're qualified. Okay.
Okay. So
So
tell me.
okay, just a sec. So let's say, Sally, that you had a smart ship that shipped on December 3rd, and then you canceled it, and then you restart it January 5th, you're good. If, on the other hand, you had a smart ship in November and you canceled it in November and you didn't get anything in December, then that's going to mean no commissions in December.
Okay. Well, I
And-
got
and that's a
two
really good
big
question.
orders. I got 2 big orders in December. I wasn't expecting the second one. So
Okay,
after
now-
it arrived in, I canceled it. I'm gonna wait till
Yeah.
first.
Now,
First-
if you bought a kit, does that make you qualified? Yes.
Yeah.
If you did as long as you have purchased $90 one way or the other, you're qualified.
Okay.
We just do this model because I can't say, well, if you order this and then that. So some people, you don't have to have a smart ship. You can go on every month and just order 2 different products or 3 products or 4 products or a kit. As long as you've hit that $90 threshold, you're qualified. The smart ship just makes it the smart way to do it.
Okay.
Okay, a good question.
Okay.
And then Monique asked, can we invite new people to these calls? Yes. Typically what we do is Cheryl always does the first 30 minutes, which is great for new people. And then we do a little break. And then I say, now I'm going to come on and do business. So if somebody's not a business person, we still want them to be on to listen to Cheryl, do what Cheryl does, right? But this week and last week, we just did me because Cheryl's on sabbatical for 2 weeks for Christmas. And so we advertise these calls as business calls. And we always say, when we're transitioning from Cheryl to me. It's like, okay, now we're going to transition to the business part of the call. If you don't want to do that, you can drop off or you can stay with us. I think that adds integrity to it, right?
Yes.
Makes it easy if you invite people, say, come
Yes.
listen to Cheryl, stay out there. Okay, other questions? Anything else? Other questions? Anything else in the chat? We're good? Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay. Lord bless. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New